So yes, thank you very much, Daryl Hilton. We'll be getting you that card as soon as we can. It'll be sometime next week, but we'll be giving you the code and all that good stuff so you can put that in. We're keep you filled in, brother. And again, Daryl Hilton, the winner of the 3 months free of the WWE Network. Daryl Hilton's going to be listening. He's going to be able to watch on his computer. He's going to be able to watch WrestleMania for free and 3 other pay-per-views. You know what I mean? And if he signs up today for only $9.99, he's going to get another month free. You can't beat that. But anyways, I don't think that's how that works when you get the card. When you get the prepaid card. I don't think that's how that works, but it might. So who knows? But anyways, Daryl Hilton, thanks for tuning in every week, and thanks for being a super fan, and let your friends know. And definitely here on Spreaker, check them out when you get a chance, the World Wrestling Podcast. And you may be shocked to hear Dino Mack on there, one of the 4 horsemen. Ain't that right, Sean B?
That is absolutely correct. It was me, you, Mr. Nick Swallomundo.
Because he swallows it all of it.
And my boy, B-Sav.
B-Sav, that's right. B-Sav. Now, let's go into the discussion that we was talking about. Again, big shout out to the Facebook group, Wrestling Fans on Facebook. I got this topic. I thought it was a great topic to talk about. Heavy D, I'm going to go to you first. To you.
Yeah.
When was the moment that you knew that the Attitude Era was done for? Like, it was just kind of, okay, we're doing something different. You know, when pretty much, and for the new listeners if you're just now getting into wrestling and you don't know what the Attitude Era was, you can definitely check that out on the WWE Network for only $9.99 a month. Also, we can give you a quick rundown. If you remember names like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, The Rock, Rikishi, the New Age Ken Shamrock, the New Age Outlaws, Hollywood Hogan,
Steve Blackman.
Steve Blackman, dude, that was a badass motherfucker. Whatever happened?
Yeah, it was.
Anyways, the NWO. If you remember WCW, if you remember hearing these names, Rey Mysterio Jr., Eddie Guerrero, these are those names back in the day in the late 90s that were very, very popular. And that was the Attitude Era, where pretty much both wrestling promotions, Monday Nitro and Monday Night Raw, kind of went head-to-head for ratings. And we saw some of the greatest wrestling of all time that we've ever seen in the history of the business, especially with the big 80s pop, as I like to call it, the big 80s pop in wrestling. Because when the 80s were big, when they was big, wrestling was part of that big pop culture phenomenon, and wrestling was huge, and you had Hulk Hogan in there making it, big, and so that's what I'm talking about, the Attitude Era. Heavy D, when did you know that it ended for you? When was the moment?
Pretty much. There's 2 different indicators for me. I could say when WCW got bought would be one.
Okay.
Or when Austin was done and The Rock were done, right around 2003, I think. The first time.
Dude, that's good. That's good.
I think because once those 2 left WWE, it started getting stagnant. But I think it really started getting stagnant once they bought WCW and had no competition.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go ahead and say when they stopped blading. When I stopped seeing blood, I knew that the Attitude Era was definitely done. Like, that's the moment I knew. Like, you could tell as matches went on, blood stopped coming around. Like they did. They stopped blading, so that special effect of, because people are like, is the blood real? It's blood packets. No, actually, yes, I'm going to say it. And is it stupid? Yes, in a sense it is, but it's entertainment all the same. Yes, professional wrestlers do cut themselves to get that bleeding effect. Sean B, when was it for you, dude?
For me, it was the moment they turned Booker T, the five-time WCW champion, into King Booker. and he did that whole horrendous run. Like, that was just horrible, man.
They have a whole section on the network for that now too.
Yeah.
In the King
right?
Booker.
I went to a live event one time while he was doing this, and like he came out to the ring and they went to a commercial, and like, no lie, during that whole like 5 minutes, however long it was, his wife was out there the whole time. Oh, hell, King Booker! The screens, the Titantron's all black and shit. Like, the stage lights are dim, and she's just out there for 5 minutes straight. I was like, shut the hell up! Like, come on, you can be on commercial too.
Yeah,
but like, when you were saying the blading and stuff, like, that ended in the PG era to me, like, because we saw a lot of blood in the Ruthless Aggression era. And that was like from like 2002, whatever.
You saw it, but you didn't see it like you were supposed to, because see, in Ruthless Aggression era, you saw it blacked out, black and white. Like, you saw it during the live event, but you did not see, during the Ruthless Aggression era, you did not see blood. Like, you didn't see the color red. When they did replays and stuff like that, it went straight to black and white.
Oh, true.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I seen that John Cena versus JBL. Like, that one match, Cena was just like head to freaking torso, like, covered in blood. Like, the bleeding to me, like, because we saw a lot of blood in the Ruthless Aggression era. But yeah, that was definitely a big factor of it. And like Heavy D said, when the Rock and Stone Cold, like, were gone, like, you knew, like, something was up.
You had a good one. You had a good point that you brought up. You said when you saw the bra and panties matches no longer, that was a good that was a good indication that it's like, man, where did those matches go?
Or when we saw a name of a guy named John Cena, once he came in, we were
we got rid of the hardcore belt.
I mean, I know we've been talking a lot about it because normally we've got Ring of Honor and stuff that we talked about, and there was a good match that I did watch on Ring of Honor. It was Lifeblood versus Ring of Honor with Jay Lethal and some other guys. And dude, let me just say, Jeff Cobbs or whatever his name is, dude, that dude is badass. I think he's their television champion. Dude, that dude is huge, and that dude can move with the. He's like a. He's as big as Samoa Joe, but a little bit more stockier, like a little bit more slender. But he's as big as Samoa, like broad. He's as broad as Samoa Joe, but can move like a cruiserweight. Like, it's really cool. That dude is awesome. He's on his way. But I know we've been talking about WWE, but let's go ahead and talk about John Cena real quick, because we are Smart Marks. Sean B's a Smart Mark. He's not your average fan. Heavy D is a Smart Mark. He's not your average fan. I am too. We're in it for the business and for the entertainment purposes. I mean, you're talking to guys right now. You're listening to guys right now, literally, that we look up how much net worth, the WWE made. Like, we look up who's funding AEW. We look up things like that. I know the revenue. I know the net worth of Stone Cold Steve Austin right now. You know what I mean? Like, those are the things that Smart Marks do. We're not just in it for the wrestling. We're in it for the passion of wrestling.
Right.
The passion, the love of the sport. And we love it all. But let's talk about John Cena real quick here in the last 10 minutes of the show.
Oh God, why?
Let's ruin the show. Let's ruin the show a little bit. All right.
I got a topic I got to ask you before we go off too.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
What about? Okay, so in one of my groups that I'm in, someone made the point that because coming up at Fastlane, we got Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE title, and Kofi Kingston is like popping right now. Like, the amount of pop he has right now is the most I've seen him since he was feuding with Randy Orton. Kofi Kingston.
Oh yeah.
And like they should have gave him the title when he was feuding with Randy Orton, but dropped the ball on it. So people are saying that he really has no chance against Daniel Bryan because WWE has this bias against giving black people the WWE title. Do you agree with that?
No, I do not agree with that.
The Rock, King Booker. We've had black talent win titles. It's not that at all.
Not the WWE title. I know they consider the World Heavyweight title.
But here's the thing.
They count those all in.
We don't know as fans what was going on behind the scenes back when he was feuding with Randy Orton as to why whoever was the higher power saw why he wasn't fit to hold the title. We don't necessarily know that. So we can't assume that it's because he's black. It's too easy to pick the race card. However, I think WWE has done a due diligence and a good job. Mark Henry is another name of showing that they are not biased to ethnicity. There was a case to be made in the 80s, but this isn't the 80s. This is 30 years after. So I think we need to get past the whole race card. I think you're going to see at Mania. I think Vince is going to let him have the title at Mania. It may not be against Daniel Bryan. It may be against Kevin Owens. But I think in the long run, you're going to see Kofi with the title. Here's the other thing the wrestling fans need to remember is a big word, patience and trust the process. Because I think he's going to get it, man. It's going to go that way. It's just I think it works because, look, we're talking about it. It's heat. It's added heat to the whole situation. Oh, yeah. It's even more fans pushing for it. Even the average fans, why did he get screwed? Even the Smart MarX, why did he get screwed? Oh, it's a race thing. Oh, no. Just be patient, and we will see it all play out. I think this is his time to get the title.
But
plus,
stay
it can add
passionate
an extra dichotomy. It can actually add another dichotomy to the whole storyline with the New Day because now you got one of them with a world title.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't feel WWE's biased. I was trying to look at all aspects of it because people were saying that because people were bringing up Mark Henry, Booker T, The Rock, and people were saying that those guys only held the World Heavyweight Championship. Yes, they count it as being a world champion because John Cena's held them both. That's why he's a 16-time champion.
Right.
Whereas most of they were saying most of the black people have held the World Heavyweight title, but never the WWE title.
Now we're just messing with apples and oranges now.
Yeah. Splitting hairs. Now we're
you know what I mean? Yeah, we're splitting hairs. It's getting a little ridiculous.
Because The Rock was the undisputed champion multiple times, and the undisputed title turned into what is now the WWE title. So. I just wanted to hear your guys' opinions on it because I've seen it on a few different groups of mine.
I think Mark Henry was one of the last black guys to have the heavyweight title. I think he had what is now the WWE title. Didn't he have it just a few years ago?
No, he had the World Heavyweight. That was his last title.
Was it? Okay, I was mistaken, but still. I think again you're not you, but I think the fans are splitting hairs with that.
Yeah,
that's
I saw the same thing.
You know what I mean? That's like trying to find a reason to throw the race card out.
Daryl Hilton, just to answer your question, you said you guys remember the name of the fat wrestler that in the early 2000s that would plant his ass in his opponent's face. That would be Rikishi. Yes.
Rikishi, the daddy of the Usos.
Yeah,
cousin to The Rock.
So let's go back to because once you go black, you always go back because there has been some very good black WWE champions, whether they was the World Heavyweight Champion or the WWE Champion. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned,
champion.
If a champion's a champion, if you've got the stick, if you've got the gimmick, if you've got the fan support, they're going to give it to you. Do I think Kofi will win at WrestleMania? I surely hope so because it would be bad marketing if he didn't. If he didn't.
I don't think he's going to win it at Fastlane just because it's going to be their first one-on-one. He put on a freaking clinic in that Hell in a Cell match.
Mhm.
Like, or
He
not
did.
the Hell in a Cell, the Elimination